All right, tonight, we're gonna review commas for your quiz on Friday. There are 3 rules for commas that you're gonna go over, and you're gonna have your 20 point quiz. So, rule number 1 is the one that talks about independent clauses, and it makes you stop run-ons. So, run-on sentences are when you don't use a comma, but you use a coordinating conjunction, and, or, for, nor, but, yet, so, but you've left out the comma. You need to have 2 independent clauses. So if you use an and, but, for, nor, or, yet, so, and you have 2 complete sentences, one on either side of that and, for, nor, but, yet, so, you need a comma, or you've written a run-on. So, for instance, you have to have a subject and verb on both sides of the coordinating conjunction with a comma. That makes this sentence a compound sentence. So, for instance, he slipped is a complete sentence. It has a subject and a verb, okay? He fell is a complete sentence. It has a subject and a verb. If I want to combine these sentences, I lowercase that, and I add a comma and an and. Without the comma, this conjunction is not strong enough to make this a complete sentence. Without this comma, it's a run-on. Rule number 2. Rule number 2 talked about introductory words, so we're just going to review it. Anything can be introductory that is not a coordinating conjunction. So there are many subordinating conjunctions that can start a sentence. For instance, after is a subordinating conjunction. Because is a subordinating conjunction, and it makes the first part of your sentence a dependent clause. So the first part of the sentence, if it starts with one of these subordinating conjunctions, there's so many that I can't list them. But if it starts with one of these, the entire clause gets a comma afterwards. Because he was sleeping in class, comma, Ralph got in trouble. Both of these feel like they're sentences with subjects and verbs. Okay? Here's your subject, here's a verb, here's a subject, and here's a verb. However, with this subordinating conjunction, you have to put a comma after it because it's a dependent clause. It's dependent on this one. Okay? So that's one of your introductory words. Other introductory words can be things like wow, indeed, comma. Those are called, what are those called? They're called interjections. So anytime you have an interjection, if you have a persuasive, our little Einstein guide said if it starts with a prepositional phrase, like inside the space, it does not have to have a comma unless it has more than 4 words for the introductory phrase. Now you can go ahead and use one here, and it'll be fine. So, inside the dark, scary woods, a hobbit went adventuring. My son would like that one. He would like that one very much. All right, so inside the dark, scary woods, too many words, need a comma for that introductory phrase. All right, so other introductions include names. So if I said Rachel, and then I gave her a directive, turn off the camera. I may or may not, depending on what I feel like, use that comma, but it's generally accepted to use that comma there. Okay, rule 3. Rule 3 is the toughest one to understand. Though rule number 1 is the most common mistake we make, rule 3 is the most difficult to understand. When you have an interrupter in a sentence, if you start your sentence and then interrupt it with a phrase, you need to take it out to see if you use a comma or not. So if it's essential, if the phrase in your sentence is necessary, like the girl in the corner wears too much perfume. Okay, the girl in the corner, I need to know who she is in order to understand the sentence. It's essential. So that does not hit commas. Okay? If I said, Peggy, the girl in the corner, this does get commas because this phrase is no longer essential. I've named Peggy. I've given her a place. This whole section here, this phrase here, doesn't need to be in the sentence to keep the meaning of the sentence. So that's how you judge it. If you put commas and something that you could take out of the sentence. If you take it out of the sentence and the sentence still has the same meaning, then you put commas around it, the interrupter. If it needs to be there for the meaning, then there are no commas. Okay, I need it there to know which girl. And that's it.